This is the last painting in a series of paintings I've been doing for Paintober. So this is painting 31. Hi, I'm Serena, abstract artist. I have my paints, they're acrylic, and I will be doing an acrylic painting for the last painting. The idea is that it will be a multicolored painting, so varying degrees of colour and tone, and hopefully some interest as well. So I'm just going to lay out as normal and paint intuitively, which is what I do mostly. Yeah, there's different ways of painting, but today I'm just going to employ some well-known techniques, I think. I enjoy laying out colour, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. Just laying blocks of colour and mixing and merging as I go on. What I find fun about Paintober is the fact that, you know, when you paint most days or every day, in the case of Paintober, you have kind of a link between the paintings. So even though the paintings might be quite different in outcome, they all share some sort of similar thread, and I think these paintings share a thread of the use of just a limited palette, but with that limited palette you end up getting quite a lot of different kind of colors. So usually I use some sort of red, some sort of blue, and some sort of yellow, and I will mix those with a white or with a black. Now this is an acrylic painting, but even with oil painting and watercolor painting I still employ the same kind of techniques. I will just take the color and mix it up. Now the thing is, it depends what kind of blue you use or what kind of red and what kind of yellow. What I would suggest is, if you're a newbie painter, is just pick 3 colors that you really like. They don't have to be cadmium red or cadmium yellow. And what's the main blue that people like? I think it's something like cobalt blue. They don't have to be those. You can pick a different color. You could pick an indigo, you could pick a turquoise blue hue, or is it turquoise green hue actually, I think it's called. So it's, you know, it's quite up to you, the blues and yellows and reds that you choose. It's quite your thing. But when I do choose these colors, I do like to just use those ones and not add more. Now with this one I did pick a green that I might add to it, but I actually did not add that green in the end because I had enough going on with the green I had, and I can always mix that green with a yellow to make a lighter green with a bit of white, and often you get quite a nice sagey colour as well. So I did use quite neat colour, and I added in an ink as well. So the ink was a deep red ink, I think, and I added a turquoisey blue as well. So even though I only used the 3 colours with the paint, I did add extra colour in terms of ink because I did want the painting to be quite vibrant, and ink is quite nice for giving a vibrant tone. Tool wise, I used brushes as well as the palette knife, and I also just used water and used the water to manipulate the paint, so it dripped the paint and it moved it about on the surface. And sometimes this is a nice way to get some kind of graphic look to the painting. So if you want to get some lines in there but you don't necessarily want to paint them in yourself, moving paint around via a drip is quite a good way to do it. I find you have to work into those drips and bits of water that you've put on the surface. You have to let it dry for a start a little bit, and then you have to work into it. There's a great artist called Jan Mulder, and he does a lot of work where he moves the paint around on the surface using this kind of technique. Now I've kind of used it in a very quick fashion, and I haven't really let things sit and percolate. I think if I wanted to make a painting that involved a lot of paint movement in that way, I would probably do it over a period of time, and I think he does it over a period of time as well. I just wanted to add in some interest. Acrylic is quite a versatile medium, and I do like to use it, especially with water. You can move it around and manipulate it. You can make it as thin as you want, so you can use it very much like watercolor, or you can thicken it up and use it like thick oil. It dries pretty quick, so you can always do the next layer, and if you get fed up or bored of what you've just painted, you can just go over it with a white and then start again. And when you do that, you end up with a texture underneath, and I actually usually like to create that texture anyway first, because when you put more layers onto it, it starts coming up underneath, and you will see that texture coming through. And I'm thinking perhaps you can see some of the texture from the previous painting here. And for me, it's always quite exciting to find some of that underneath coming through. Is this painting a successful painting? So now is the time to evaluate it and have a think about the color combination, the composition, the balance, what's going on in the painting, and decide whether or not it's something that I want to keep and possibly exhibit going forward, or is it something that is going to need some work. I usually hang a painting up and live with it for a while. This will give me an insight as to whether anything needs changing. If I'm going to change something, it's usually within a day or two. If I leave it any longer than that, then the painting will change and become a different painting. Maybe not totally different, but it will be a different painting, and I'll probably use other colors as well. And I don't mind doing this if a painting doesn't mean much to me. If a painting means something, I won't go over it. Anyway, thank you for watching the vlog, and if you're interested in any of my work, head over to my website, zarinakiani.co.uk. These paintings will go up next week, and there will be a vlog episode exhibiting all the paintings. Signing off for now.